Let's talk about Iran and our standing around the world. First of all, Trump has said that the Strait of Hormuz is open. It's not. Iranian Navy ships are letting through people or ships, if you will, of like China, Russia, of those ships, but they're not letting through others. And it is heading toward the situation where Iran will control the Strait of Hormuz through a tolling situation. This is Trump and Hegseth and Rubio's doing, and all those people who thought this was such a great idea. Meanwhile, the intelligence report has been leaked that 67% of Iran's military capacity has been reestablished, and we were shooting down $30,000 drones with $1 million missiles. It's the economic sense of it doesn't exist. Meanwhile, the reports coming out by the military are that 20% of our stock of these weapons has been depleted while we engaged in this frolic over in Iran. So what else do we have? Governor Landry from Louisiana, who's some alleged special envoy to Greenland with Trump's idea of taking over Greenland, has said, first of all, I went there really because of their oil. That's a fine how do you do. But more importantly, he was followed around by people throughout Greenland telling him to get the hell out, and they didn't want to have anything to do with the United States. That's what's happened to our standing in the world. Meanwhile, the people in Geneva who were involved in the alleged peace talks with Iran have come out and said that the U.S. negotiators had no idea of any of the basic principles involved in uranium enrichment concepts. So that they're negotiating on something they know absolutely nothing about, and this is because the experts have been let go by Trump and Rubio and Hegseth. Speaking of other things, people not knowing what they're doing with district court judges have dismissed a number of lawsuits lately because of absolutely no evidence to support them by the Department of Justice, but also on one of them, on what I think is called the Broadview defendants, it was all dismissed where the judge said she's never seen such misconduct by lawyers in front of a grand jury before. And so the cases were completely dismissed. Speaking of cases, there's also a 25-page memorandum that was prepared by IRS lawyers, internal IRS lawyers, of what was wrong with Trump's made-up case against the IRS, and saying that the case should be simply dismissed, and the Department of Justice should move to have it dismissed because it had no value. This is notwithstanding the fact that this is what 25 seasoned lawyers said. Todd, Unethical Blanche, goes ahead and works up a settlement agreement or a settlement paper, which I'm sure you know about by now. Finally, so that it's clear that all of us make a difference, and we can make a difference. And there are stories across the country of small towns where data centers were being proposed to be built, but had been built to be built and permitted under cover of darkness, where people didn't know what was going on, where people stood up and said, no, we don't want that in our community because there are risks to our power supply, there are risks to our water supply. And in the cases where this has happened, those projects have been halted, at least for the time being, because they recognize people have legitimate concerns. They have the right to be heard. I make no comment on the wisdom or lack thereof of these data centers, but they need to be done so that they're part of a community, that they're safe, and they don't spoil what people have in the surrounding areas.